Okay, you know the score. This week we're giving away Wrath and Rapture. We're going to be looking at Abaddon the Despoiler, and you're going to see me discover that, holy smokes, this miniature is unbelievable. If you want to be in with a chance of winning it, remember, all you have to do is subscribe, which you have to do, but is effectively pointless these days. The important thing is to ding our dong so you get notifications when we put videos out. Post a comment, hit like, and do us a favor and tell a mate. Enjoy the show. Good morning, guys, and welcome to the Weekender. So if you want to be in with the chance of winning Justin's Rap and Rupture...
What?
All you have to do is ding the man's dong! So remember, you like, you subscribe, you comment, you ding his dong, and while you're at it, you get to ding this man's dong as well.
You can ding my dong anytime.
We only have Mel, the terrain tutor, in with us today.
Hey, folks.
Yeah! So Mel is our special guest. Welcome, Mel.
Thank you, buddy.
Good to have you back in the seat, man.
Yeah, it's good to be back, man.
I've been looking forward to this weekend.
Yeah.
We are, of course, also joined by Jerry.
Hola.
The mighty Justin.
The beard's back from hiatus.
And we have Sam filling in for Ben. Sam,
You will never know what I did with Ben.
I'm sure we'll find out during the course of this episode. Right, so just a couple of quick ones. This week we did announce the prize winner. We have this thing going on that in episodes of What's in the Box, during the course of a month, if you tune into them, or some of them, all of them, whatever you desire, if you post a comment or whatever on them and you're a subscriber, every month we're giving away £100 gift voucher.
That's all right.
Isn't that all right?
Yeah. Well, the first winner has been chosen.
So if you want to be in with the chance of that, March is now up and running. So go and check them out and pop in a comment, watch them. There's some interesting ones coming up. I have seen in the edit one with Jerry and Sam. I have never heard an edit studio giggling so much in all my life. So it's
the first thing they said was, so you're going to put Sam on a chair? You're going to sit down yourself? No. We want that disparity right there. There's not going to be anything to help him.
I swear to God, the episode looks like Sam's the first day at school.
Well, Ryan said to me afterwards, he was, I'm so going to edit you into a baby carrier on that. Baby carrier.
Well, it's well seen we don't do the Tom Cruise where he had to get a box because the other actor was taller than him.
Oh, no, I was on the box.
Okay, right. First up, I've got some show and tell.
Go for it.
Right? So, the guys over at Drawlab do these lovely metal coins. You can use them in your games or your role playing and stuff. They have a Kickstarter going on at the moment. So, Sam, if you can tell us a bit about the Kickstarter, mate. I actually reached out to them and said, can we see some of your coins? So they've sent through a few samples. So would you get a load of these? So this set here is called the Drow.
Filthy dark elves.
Now, I remember seeing these a while back whenever they first took them to Kickstarter, and they were really cool. But man, they've got a whole lot cooler now because they've got little bits cut out of them. Look at that. Mm-hmm. How cool is that?
Yeah.
So you've got your gold, silver, and bronze.
Yeah, we've seen the Drawlab's coins around for quite a while now, and they have cropped up on Kickstarter in the past. They're these really useful gaming tokens. I've seen them used in LARP in the past as well. So, as you said, they're just beautiful pieces, and they can be used for tokens on the tabletop. I know Justin particularly loves using metal coins in his game.
They just make games feel more classy whenever you have metal coins.
Yeah.
Even if it's for like victory counters or something like that, or just something you're paying back and forth. Now, I would love to get a set of all of these for my games of Spartacus.
Well, here, stick them down there. Do you see these?
These ones I like.
Yeah.
Really, they feel like Denari.
Oh, the enamel insets
Look at
as well.
that. Yeah, the enamel insets are just lovely.
Yeah. So these are magic RPG spell slots, but I would definitely use those for something like Spartacus, just because look at how gorgeous those are.
Isn't that lovely? I remember doing this whenever I was in high school. Not the coins, but I remember making a key ring. Mel, it was the worst key ring ever in
We
the
did
world.
that too.
In the
Was
history of
it
key
the
rings.
weird powders that when you heated them up, they turned a different colour?
Yes.
Yeah, I burnt my hand doing that.
What it is you had these kind of, I'm pretty sure it was powders. It was enamel.
Yeah.
And you did a pattern, and then you stuck it in an oven.
and then it melted it, and it kind of melted and
See,
solidified.
we were almost going to do that. Then a lad in my class set fire to the craft design technology room in the school.
Nice. That's
And so it was taken
always
off
a quality
there.
sign, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm with you, Justin. I particularly love these because I love the flash of red in them. I think they're just
They're really
so
nice.
cool.
I actually really like the Alien set simply because it has the Voyager gold plate as the big coin.
Oh yes,
And clearly somebody's found that because
Yeah.
if you look at the back, some aliens have been graffitiing it. Filthy alien scum.
look at it. This
You know,
is
there's going to
actually
be
pretty
people who
darn
try and translate that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The
You know-
great thing about these coins is each of them do have those little bits of hidden detail on them, which really helps for world building.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell a lot about a culture by its currency and by its graffiti, of course. So those sort of little points do help to create the setting a bit more.
This one here is the manga set, Justin.
Ooh.
So check that one.
My daughter would love that.
Oh, that's nice. It's got a nice mech on it there.
Yeah, you should throw it in your pocket whenever nobody's looking.
Yeah, tell you what, Mel. Here you go, man. So, don't tell anyone. You know, give that to the last, right? So, and then this last one here.
Oh, there's one more.
Oh, well, this is the Alchemist set first.
Yeah.
So, again, really nice stuff. You have that gold, silver, bronze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
This
then we got
one.
this one. What's this one, Justin?
Somebody moved the bag on me, so I don't know.
Oh dear, that's terrible.
Justin.
His
Yeah, but
mythic
this one
doohickey.
goes 150 to 20 to 10, I'm guessing.
Oh, that'd be amazing if it did, Justin.
Yeah.
It's almost like someone planned it.
See, I like this set because you can actually do the proper coinage
got-
math.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
you
lot
can
better
actually
if you
pay
get
for
enough of them.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Isn't that nice?
they're gorgeous.
Right.
The quality's great.
That brings a whole new dynamic into the role play of like actually looking at the coins in your hand and like, can I? Because we do that in real life,
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
we?
Can-
You
can
know,
I
throw it
afford-
in your game? Like,
Can I afford this round in this tavern? No. I really hope somebody comes and tells us to go to Noel's lair immediately.
Yeah,
Well,
although
one of the
there's-
things that I've always loved is the solid metal pirate doubloons.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's what was the game that we played?
It was Libertalia.
Libertalia, and you could get metal doubloons for.
Oh, nice.
it
Yeah,
was
I got the
brilliant.
collector's set for it, and it's got silver and gold doubloons in it, which is just lovely. Although, does anyone else do this? Actually arrange their coins by size in their hand whenever they're fiddling with them?
When I have coins all the time.
Mostly we all work in such large denominations of notes, Justin. That I don't even bother picking up coins whenever they're handing it back to me. I just walk away.
I don't see coins. Coins are considered my children's property in my household.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, my lad just walks along and if he sees change, he just assumes it's his pocket money. And just, I'm having that.
So, Sam, if you had to pick a set of coins to be made, what would they be?
Oh, I think for me it would be one I believe Drawlab already do, which is pirate coins. Because there is a LARP that I've been dying to go to called Skull and Crossbones. It's a pirate LARP on ships, so I'd have to have some doubloons with me.
So let's have a look at what they've actually got on the Kickstarter. See if your doubloons are there, Sam.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple of different ranges going. Of course, first of all, we have the Alchemists one, where you see lots of different sort of chemical equations. I have to wonder, an alchemist, surely their whole thing is being able to turn things into gold. That's what they're going for. I guess they need the coins because they haven't found out how to do that yet.
Yeah.
Then you've got the alien ones just below.
Yep. There, Jerry, that's the ones you like, man.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right in
followed
there.
by the Drow, which is
Ooh,
one
I
I
like them.
particularly like.
Yeah.
Because there is a really dark gothic look to them with that bit of Elvis script.
Mm-hmm.
Then the manga ones.
Manga ones
Yeah.
are nice.
Yeah, I'll admit I'm not a fan of the manga ones.
Why not, Sam?
Well, first of all, because that little manga not a Pikachu creeps me out.
Honestly, I like the gold
Fair
one.
enough.
It's got a nice big neck on it.
If Pikachu came back via the ring, it would look nice. You'd imagine that climbing out of the TV at you.
Yeah, yeah.
Next up, we have the Slavic ones. Now, actually, we have the Slavic ones here as well.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I can show you guys that. So there's the
There's a nice
Slavic
heft
ones.
to all of them.
Okay, great. Listen. Up. Down. Right. Listen. There.
Another one bites the dust.
You know, do you
I thought he
want
was
to
gonna kick into
an
Thunderstruck.
even more satisfying sound? Half the team in here are into their
ASMR.
ASMR. What was I going to say? SBD. Listen.
Well, should I do this?
Oh, that's a good one. Wait, you see. Oh man, we could just end up working in movies at this rate. Right, so we've got the creature units. That's the ones that impressed you, Justin, because they were like decimal currency, something you're used to. So let's go. Keep going. I want to see the rest of them.
RPG spell tokens.
RPG spell tokens.
Yes,
just below,
which are my favorite in the entire
With the
range.
enamel
I
in them,
love the little flash of red in them. I think they're fantastic.
Then we've got the classic sets you can order on here as well.
So the dragon, the dwarven.
Pirates are there.
Oh, the pirates are there.
I actually have this one, the gold one.
Have you really?
Yeah, I picked it up at UK Games Expo last year. It was the end of the day. I was just like, ooh, coins. I'll have one of those.
Okay, keep going. I want to see the orcs and elven ones.
Orc ones are good.
Yeah, the orc one looks like he's taking a bite out of it. And then you have the steampunk, the sci-fi, the capital medieval.
They've got quite a range, haven't
Isn't
they?
it a massive range? I love the Far East range with the
The
centers
Greek ones
cut
are
out.
nice. They've got a nice sort of weathering to them.
I like the Far East for following that hole in the middle so you can string them. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, but didn't they used to have like tally sticks which matched the shape of the middle hole? So they could
Well, that's
count
where
up
we
certain
got the, not the abacus, but that, you know, where the stacker of, and it's literally from counting coins and dropping them on that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ooh. And then you have Cthulhu, you have season 2 in there. What I'm waiting
I like the
for.
Cyberpunk.
The Necromancer ones are great as well. We could sit here all day.
Yeah.
I have to say the zombie ones baffle me because how far gone must a culture be into the zombie apocalypse that they start putting them on their coins?
You got to buy your brains with
something. They might be in
something.
season 3 there.
So there's Japanese.
Oh, there's zombie ones, yeah. But here, Sam, the way to think about the zombie ones is if you were a society that came out of a zombie apocalypse and you started making your own coins, you might do that to... You probably wouldn't, but you might.
Maybe zombies become the currency.
Okay,
That's how you represent
so what I want then is I want them to do. Do any of you guys remember back to the original Battlestar Galactica?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes, the octagonal.
Oh,
Do you remember
playing cards.
And Starbucks stores be gambling with it, and they're really, really shiny and stuff.
I always wanted to learn that card game because they always seem to have so much fun playing it.
Yeah.
I would be totally in for that. Or it would have to be to scratch my Ferengi itch. Gold
Latinum.
pressed Latinum.
Yeah.
I would love some bars of gold pressed Latinum. I'm just such a freak.
That's
I know
the
exactly
Latinum.
what I'd go for, actually. It would have to be the Ankh-Morpork dollar with about the same amount of gold in it as seawater. That would have to be it.
That counts as a drink. That was a Discworld reference.
All right, okay. Everybody take a shot. Mel, if you had to pick one.
If I had to pick one, the enamel ones, they look cool.
Yeah.
If I wanted to request one,
Yeah.
medals. Can you imagine giving your troops medals in the battle? Earning medals in a battle, and there's actually a physical token to say, yeah, you kicked butt, mate. There you go.
That's genius. I like that.
And if it had just a little kind of indent of the 25mm base, and then you could just
slide
them in it. That's your medal from now on, son.
Yeah, because I mean, we like that with models, don't we? We like you know, if we've all done it, we've taken it. If it's killed a monster, you take the monster's head, you stick it on the base just to wind your mate up. My mate did that on me with a Tyrannid, just to draw my fire, because it was the first model I'd always kill because it got my Tyrannid head on it that he'd nicked.
Yeah.
Wait, he actually clipped the head off your model and glued it on his base?
Yes. One of my models went, you've got to understand, I mix with a certain group of phobia.
Yeah.
And he was like,
Wow.
I'm having that. It was only a Gaunt's head, but you know, I had like 600 of them, but it was like one disappeared.
And love and war.
I'm like, have you painted that to match mine? He says, I haven't painted it.
I see.
Where is he missing from?
And then every game after that, he distracted all my heavy fire because every dice was aimed until that guy went down.
See, that's psychological warfare.
You see, this is what happens when you play games with a mental health nurse.
Yes.
Yeah, who's got army training. You know, he's like, do you really want to do that? And you start like, I'm not sure.
Psychological warfare comes
Every
in.
game.
Well, if you want to check it out, go ahead and check out that Drawlab's Kickstarter. There's just some beautiful stuff in there, guys. And be sure to drop them a note and drop in your ideas. But get in the queue. My Battlestar Galactica stuff comes first. Please. Okay, right. Justin is about to sit down with the mighty Carlos Bostria from Corvus Belli to we hear about the new, exciting new trailers for the launch that they've got coming up.
Everybody, I'm joined by Carlos in the studio, and today we are having a chat about some of the new things that are happening with Corvus Belli. Carlos, it's good to have you on the show, buddy.
Hey, it would be nicer to be there, but
Well, we'll have to wait and drag you over whenever there's a nice new big Infinity box coming. But speaking of a new Infinity box, you guys have dropped a trailer for something rather nice this week, yeah?
Yeah, well, more than a box, a huge bunch of stuff, really. Yeah, well, it's the Daedalus Fall week. I mean, next Monday we will begin publishing a lot of videos in our channel with all the contents and explaining step by step all what's happening with Infinity and also with Aristeia right now, because this is heading for Adepticon, really. I mean, having an event like Adepticon on the timeline really brings a super tight deadline that we have to accomplish. Okay, so everything, the whole company is like, okay, everything to this event. And it's fine, because if you don't have really strong deadlines, the team works at different rhythms and stuff like that. It's like everything there, and that makes like, okay, book, box, Aristeia expansion, plastic, metal, everything.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, you guys for shows, you always do huge content drops as soon as the shows start rolling around, and each one through the year, you've also always got, like, the next step, the next step, the next step. So what are we expecting to see for new releases for this one with the book and the box?
Well, Daedalus Fall is the book. Is a new Infinity expansion book. It's a book that is going to unlock 5 armies. Okay, it's a book that is going to revisit the Paradiso campaign, but updated to the standard of nowadays gaming. Okay, it also brings new fluff, new rules, new stuff, like this, saucy stuff. Apart from that, one of the armies that gets unlocked with the Daedalus Fall twist, because this is a step forward in the fluff, okay, is the Spiral Corps. A totally new army, something that people wasn't even aware of, okay, it's totally new and unexpected. Those are new Tohas. Of course, the book comes with a pre-order model, the Brawler Hacker. Brawlers are mercenary units that goes with, makes fire teams with lots of armies, very, very wildcards, really. Apart from that, the box of the Spiral Corps, of course, pre-order model, the Hatail Spec Ops, which is an Spec Op, and makes sense because the Paradiso campaign is being updated, and in the Paradiso rules, you can use Spec Op and add experience points to those figures, so it makes a lot of sense. And apart from that, Corvus Belli is releasing a limited edition figure of Saito Togan, a mercenary ninja. It's a figure that is being released as limited edition. People can buy it separately, but the bundle that we're doing in our online store is if you get the book and the box, the book of Daedalus Fall and the book of Spiral Corps, you will get that specific model, limited edition model, for free.
Very cool. All right, quick question then. How is this step forward in the actual backstory going to actually affect the human sphere in general?
Well, it's a lovely story, and it's really, it will be much better to read it in the lovely fluff than myself explaining it. But yeah, this Spaniard is speaking hardly English. Anyway, there's the Operations Theater in Infinity has always been Planet Paradiso. Planet Paradiso is the system where everything is revolves around. Is the main gate for the entrance of the alien forces in the human sphere is Planet Paradiso. There is like a wormhole, which is the Acheron wormhole, okay, and there is the Acheron blockade of humanity trying to stop alien invaders from coming, okay. And with the third offensive, that was the previous book, it was like the biggest wave of alien invaders coming the more than ever and pushing the human sphere more than ever. Okay. Apart from the Acheron arrival gate, okay, we have lots of other giant structures of wormholes that departure from Paradiso to the rest of the human sphere, okay. And apart from that, there is one particular gate that connects Paradiso with Iriba. That is the gate that connects the Toha system, okay, with the humanity. That is the connection between Toha and humanity. And Toha are some kind of well-intentioned aliens. Big, big marks here. But they were allies against the combined army, against the evil aliens. So losing that connection, the Daedalus Fall, losing that gate that connects both systems is quite a dramatic step further into the consequences of the third offensive. Okay, and that changes everything, especially for the Toha. Okay, suddenly they have no chance of receiving reinforcements. They have no chance of going back to Iriba or Runoha, their home planet. I mean, the connection is lost, and that changes their whole agenda. Suddenly, all those Tohas that are in Paradiso, that are in the human sphere, are stranded away from home in the universe. And that changes also the status quo of power of the usual chain of command of the Tohas in the human sphere, and the relation of the factions with humanity, really.
Well, so you're introducing new units through this as well. Are we going to see many new rules or new, big changes to like stat lines and stuff?
No, not big changes. Some additions regarding to rules. Just a few new rules. Something saucy like Tricore, for example, which is a device that allows a certain Toha to be in a Toha fire team, which are just allowed to have 3 members, and usually just have the bonus of a 3-member fire team. But with the Tricore device, that specific Toha will have the benefits of a fireman fire team, which is crazy stuff. Apart from that, little devices like Strato Cloud, for example, which is a device that allows the Toha or the figure to drop a circular template over themselves and benefit from saturation zone and low visibility zone. Just very specific points of rules, because Infinity has lots of rules already. And for example, with third offensive, things like tactical awareness or NCO are very, very young and new rules that we can still play and deliver lots of profiles with kind of stuff. I mean, those are very interesting options that people are wrapping their list around. So, yeah, there will be new units, new rules, new armies, kind of more stuff that people seems to enjoy a lot, because it opens the spectrum of options for everybody a lot. And that is tested and created, but it's thrown there. I mean, the chances in such a game that opens and grows exponentially is up there to the smart players to make the list and suddenly come to the tournament with the new meta, with the new super bomb of incredible stuff that happens. Because, I mean, the chances are so huge that making the next super army list is still yet to happen. Okay, the last book, Third Offensive, was released like November, something like that. I mean, there's a lot of content, and the community and the meta and the player base still has to digest it. So just adding a few more rules to such salad of rules that we have now is like huge.
Well, that brings us to the Spiral Core army pack, and I'm sure everybody's wondering, who are these guys and what are they going to be bringing to the table?
Well, there's also a lovely story about the Spiral Corps. Okay, Spiral Corps was a mercenary company in the human sphere, not a particularly brilliant one. Okay, and suddenly the Tohas purchase the mercenary companies, and suddenly they are the backbone of that mercenary company that suddenly is full of Tohas, and then promote themselves as a mercenary company as the ultimate private security solution against the combined army aliens, because there's this paranoia that the Shashbastis, which are the bad aliens that can impersonate humans, are everywhere. So the best way to secure your complex, your company, your private needs is by hiding the Spiral Corps. But there's something else. There's something which is the Toha Triumvirate. The Toha Triumvirate is this kind of secret society that is very, very integrated in the Toha society, and they occupy key seats in every major Toja decision-making organization. Okay, they are puppeteers. Okay, they want to control everything, and they have their own agenda apart from the Toja agenda. So purchasing, making the Spiral Corps is a kind of a cover-up. It's a disguise for the Toja and the Triumvirate to hide their operations in the human sphere. So when the humans see the Spiral Corps shooting people on the street in the human sphere, they think, oh, it's a security company. But no, they have their own agenda, and they are fighting for the hidden interests and hidden objectives of the Triumvirate, okay, which is this like secret society.
Yeah. Okay, Carlos, the important question that I'm sure everybody on the internet is dying to find out. When and where can I lay my hands on these, be it on the online store, or I mean, like, are you guys bringing it to Adepticon? Can I lay my hands on a copy there?
Yes, this will be available at Adepticon. This will be available on the Corvus Belli store. This will be also available in your local friendly retailer or online retailer, whatever. This is going to go fully distributed everywhere. So just choose the option you like the most. The only thing is that the Corvus Belli store will have free shipping and the combo of having for free Saito Togan if you buy both products, okay?
Yeah.
But you can buy Saito Togan separately if you want. I mean, we're giving all the options and all the stuff over there. Apart from that, well, we have a new online store, Corvus Belli. Yeah, now you can use PayPal, so
nice.
We're pretty happy with it. Yeah, we're making lots of good things there. Apart from that, Aristeia is also having an expansion, and whoever wants on the Corvus Belli online store or Adepticon any kind of Aristeia product will also get a limited edition card, which is a no with Hexer in it.
Nice.
So, you know, it's a full wave of Corvus Belli stuff, really.
Yeah. All right. Now, the other one, Carlos says, say I'm one of the unfortunate masses out there who can't make it to Adepticon. What other shows are Corvus Belli going to be turning up to this year?
Well, lots of stuff. Lately, if we cannot go physically to an event, we make a video and send it to events so they can have some, this face on their event, Mainly, Gen Con is going to be the big event, as is always with every summer, and we will deliver something especially incredible at Gen Con. Of course, in Spain, the Interplanetario, which is becoming more and more international. Now, lots of people from Europe and the USA come to the Interplanetario, which happens in August in Vigo, okay, around day 15 of August, midday. So those are the big events for us, okay, and to those dates, Corvus Belli will deliver another bomb of miniatures and awesome stuff, as we always do. Those are the main thing, yeah.
Well, the last one then is, now I love doing this to you, Carlos, because I love seeing you sweat a little bit. Is there any little hints or anything of what's coming later in the year you could maybe drop for us? Oh, come on.
At Adepticon, you are mentioning something. In our 2019 schedule, we have Adepticon, Gen Con, and something mysterious by the end of the year. Okay, we have a big N symbol of infinity by the end of the year.
Yeah.
At Adepticon, we kind of will slightly reveal what it is about. Okay. And at Gen Con, we might be able to really show the product. And by the end of the year, it will be the moment of launching that product. It's kind of it's a 3-step project.
Okay, so basically every time one of the big events is on, watch this space for you guys, I'm guessing, just for the secret little reveals.
Yeah, it's kind of a striptease, like oh, yes.
I need to get some nice music for you, my friend, the next time you're over to visit us.
we are working right now with the deadline, trying to have some awesome images, mysterious, evocative images, so people can still guess what is coming. But it's a product that for me is very important. I mean, I think it's very important for the company itself. As Aristeia was, I mean, making another game, making new games, making new products for Corvus Belli that are not specifically Infinity, but can be Infinity related. Okay.
Ooh, you're teasing me now.
It's an art. It's an art.
Oh, yeah. Well, Carlos, it's always a pleasure to have you in the studio, buddy. I will be keeping an eye out for you at all of the events I'm heading to this year, because you know me, I will be right there with you with the microphone to try and see what I can twist your arm and get out of you. Everybody, tell you what, drop your comments in below. Are you excited for the new releases from Infinity this year? Myself and Carlos will move on. We will see you again very soon.
Hello, I'm Carlos from Corvus Belli Infinity, and you're watching The Weekender on beastofwar.com.
I always love getting a chance to talk to Carlos, although I always have to try and twist his arm a little bit just to see if I can get any more info out of him.
If you get that man in the right mood, he's like a leaky bucket.
Oh, yeah.
Right, Sam, this is it, man. We are putting you on the spot. It is time. You got to be ready. Give us the news. And I think you're gonna kick off with Abaddon or a good one. One of the two.
No, it's Abaddon.
How did you know that was going to be the first thing? It's like you have the running order or something. Yeah, Abaddon has returned. The Despoiler is back. A lot of people were very excited to see this. Of course, the old sculpt is a well-loved favorite, but it's definitely shown its age. And now they finally revealed his updated version, and it is.
Okay, so thank God. So that first one was the old sculpt. I thought to myself, hang on a second, this doesn't look right. I don't remember that.
I was waiting to see if I could get him.
You know, I was looking at it and I was thinking, but that is the old sculpt I'm looking at. You know, that's not right. Okay, so you're looking at that and you're thinking to yourself, it's aged.
Yeah.
It has aged. Okay, scroll down.
Down to ta-da.
Oh, holy smokes. Right, turn Sam off. I don't want him on the screen. I just want... Oh, goodness me.
Look at the detailing on the sword.
Look at the size of him, because he's standing on a Primaris Marine.
I'm switching sides.
Really? You're going to go Chaos?
I'm
Is
switching
his lower
sides.
leg the same size as that torso?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's a
think
beast.
he looks close to the size of Gulliman.
Yeah. If you go down, there's a little size comparison image a bit further down the page.
Well, let's...
He's standing a little smaller than a Primarch. He's not quite there, but he is bigger than the basic troops. He is much bigger than he used to be.
That's a Primaris Marine.
Yeah, so you've got Guardsman on a 25 base, Primaris on the 32, and then him on the big base. That's mean looking. And some of the details.
Holy smokes.
That's...
I love the detail where they've crushed that armor plate. This is something they're going to get stick for.
Oh, he's got an on-off switch.
Yeah. So you go from a bat on to a bat off.
Oh.
Yeah, there was an image posted. I believe Lance posted it in the comments below. Just had me cracked up.
Why has he got an on-off switch? Do we know anything about that?
Who knows?
Nah, it's just part of the design, but it's nice to see the cloak is optional for him. So you
Yeah.
can have it on or off. And then as we move further down...
I think it'll be on.
Yeah, hides the
Oh,
switch.
yes. No, definitely on.
It gives a bit more volume to the
Yeah,
model
yeah,
as well.
bumps him out.
Yeah, no, right, okay.
And then he's got 3 heads, so you've got Angry...
Baby, you make me wish I had 3 hands!
No, you've got...
Sorry, Justin, I couldn't
okay,
resist,
it's okay.
man.
Yeah, so you've got Angry Abaddon,
So you got angry head,
passive-aggressive head,
passive-aggressive head. Well, so it's kind of like
sleep apnea head.
puzzled head. And that's covered head.
no,
Yeah.
sleep apnea.
Sleep apnea.
I thought about that. The one with the mask is him with his Immortan Joe cosplay on.
Yeah. Well, I have to ask, right? So we're going to go around all 3 of you now. So,
Yeah.
Which head is your favorite?
Angry.
So bring the head up.
Okay.
Bring the heads up, and
right.
we'll get to pick.
My favorite has to be the Angry.
You like angry head?
I like Angry head.
Um,
What, do you prefer passive-aggressive head?
He's one step away. With that black
think
eyeshadow, he's one
I-
step away from being a goth.
I like that one. I like that one because I think he comes across as more regal, almost more.
Stern.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, angry. Just
Yeah, you say angry, I say constipated. That's a head shaker right
that's
there.
what the switch is for, man. It opens the rear hatch.
Flush mode.
What about yourself, Mel? What,
I like sleep apnea.
Sleep
One
apnea
plain
head.
simple. I can't paint faces.
Ah,
You know, so it's an easy option for me. A couple of eyes, I can deal with that with a wash.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can get the model on the tabletop without fretting, because I think with models like this, when they're so good, you want to do the best paint job on
want
them.
to do it justice.
Yeah, and having that option there is like, all right, I feel a lot more confident about tackling that model now. Yeah, because I don't have to worry about getting that face right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, it's something I worry about sometimes. If a model's so nice, I sometimes get paralysis to paint the thing because it's so nice and I don't want to mess it up.
Yeah.
Yep.
It does happen.
It's fair.
I mean, like, I picked up a gorgeous Kingdom Death miniature, one of their Halloween specials, sat on my shelf for like 2 years, and it was just like, I want to paint you, but no, I don't want to ruin it.
Yeah. I've had similar with models and stuff like that in the past. I've had to build myself up and say, right, really research how I'm going to paint it so I feel comfortable going in.
Yeah.
I mean, the one good thing about being a guard player is once you figured out one colour scheme, that's your entire army.
Sort of forever.
But when you get into this...
I get what you mean, because there has been times where I've said to John, don't f*** it up. It's like, I'm not sure I'm ready to let you paint this yet, John. Right, Sam, what head would you take?
Well, while I actually think the mask is the coolest, if I was to make it, I'd just choose the stern one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like you said, he does look more regal, more of a command. Well, as regal as you can look when you've got your hair up in about a 2-foot ponytail like that. But it does look pretty cool in that one.
Well, so all that's left then to decide among us is cape or no cape.
Definitely cape.
I'd say no cape.
Scroll up to the cape, Justin, because I think you're wrong.
There's not a full shot with the cape, but there's the cape there.
Keep going.
The top shot.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
No, it adds volume. It
has to
places
be
the model,
cape,
frames
Justin.
I don't know. You see, I kind of like the idea of being able to get in and do all the nice details that they've sculpted around the rear of the armor.
You can do
Well, have
that
the
and
cape
then put the
afterwards.
cape on.
Yeah, so why don't you do that? Yeah, and then you can cover it up. So no, definitely cape every time.
You say nice details.
I like how
Do you not
The only
think he looks a
detail on the
little
back
bit
is
skinny?
the switch.
I don't know, I like that.
He does. Because of the size of the top of that Terminator
Yeah.
armor he's in, he looks like a mushroom. There's no without the bulk behind him.
Yeah.
It's a very narrow body, massive shoulders, and
It could be the shot with it being side on,
Yeah,
just making him look slightly
making him
more
look
narrow
slightly-
than
Yeah.
he actually is.
Although
Because he's got quite a wide stance, hasn't he?
Yeah, there's
But
one
I'm
detail I'm seeing here, though, that's quite nice.
Go on.
See the ammo feeds?
Yes.
It's actually got tracer rounds on it. They've painted it in.
Ah. Yeah, but only one every watch at 10.
It doesn't make up for no cape, though, Justin. You know, it's like
That's not going to give you a fireworks show, mate. You want one every 3 for a good fireworks show.
Now, I will say one of the best things I think about this update is just the proportions seem a bit better. It does have my pet peeve of the massive shoulder pads, so he can't see if he's being attacked from the left or the right. But if you look at the classic miniature, while that is a classic one, just look at the size of the torso compared to the rest of him. I'm just wondering. And then they updated the sculpts. The proportions look much better, and because of it, there's far more, a lot more of a dynamic sculpt. There's a lot more motion to it.
I think it's incredible. I really do. With the cape.
There's one thing I dislike.
What's
The
that?
proportion of the Talon of Horus, because that's a Primarch's weapon.
No, the proportion of the Talon of Horus. Now,
Yeah, so you see here, the lightning claws with the bolter.
Yeah.
It's meant to be a Primarch's weapon, and Primarchs are meant to be freaking massive compared to
Yes.
Space Marines.
Yeah.
So on this one, you get that sense that it is massive. It's outsized for him.
Yes.
On this one, it's more in scale with him, which I actually dislike.
But Abaddon's massive.
Yeah, but I mean,
he's huge.
But he is just a regular Space
No,
Marine.
no, not
No,
anymore.
I mean, we've already seen in the size comparison that he's a lot bigger than a normal Space
A
Marine.
normal
Oh, yeah.
Space Marine would be the size of
As
his
with any
leg.
hand-me-down clothes, he's had it taken in a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's like Abaddon. Abaddon, even when he was a Space Marine, was a formidable character.
Yeah, he was
Yeah, but-
Warville, wasn't he?
But he wasn't the size of a Primarch.
Yeah, but he's grown, man. He like 10,000 years of roast dinners. You know, it has an effect. Okay, so Abaddon is out. It's just fabulous.
Yeah.
He's
Well
not out
done.
on release yet. This is just his reveal.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it'll be out very shortly and in your hands. Next up, we just have a very quick announcement to make, and that is the guys from Parabellum are doing an American road trip. And we have talked them in to live blogging as they go around. So they're going to be visiting a load of American hobby stores,
Yeah, yeah.
doing the whole road trip thing that loads of us would just love to do.
Yeah.
So we kind of twisted their arm and they said, look, we'll set you up a live blog.
Yeah.
Can you give us a warts and all view of what it is, what it's going to be like for you guys to take a trip across America and see what's happening.
7 stores in 30 days, something like that. As they're heading
7 stores, as they're also going to be doing Gamma and Adepticon, so they've got loads to do. Just look at that, Justin. Would you like to do that?
I would definitely do that, especially because it ends in Chicago.
I'll see them there.
No,
Yes, you're going to Adepticon. Yes.
Chicago does some of the best food.
I know. The irony is, I don't like pizza. My wife is like, you what? Let me go instead. I'll be you.
Dude, seriously, just get yourself an Italian beef sandwich.
Italian beef sandwich?
Yeah.
All right, it's on the list.
Yeah. There's one little place that Don and Gianna know, they do the best.
I've heard the hot dogs are phenomenal.
Chicago hot dogs are good.
Well, when they're finished talking about their guts, so stay tuned. That live blog will be kicking off pretty soon, actually. Maybe even we'll start to get to grips with that in the next few days. But stick around. I'm very curious to see, because the guys behind Parabellum are characters. They really are. So there's going to be. I'm expecting some fun and games from that one.
I'm just looking forward to seeing if they get out of Santa Carla, because isn't it full of damn vampires?
Is it not zombies?
No. The Lost Boys.
The Lost Boys.
Yeah, you also got the new one, Santa Carlita Diet.
No.
What's that?
It's a zombie show.
Yeah, it's not going to be as good as the Lost Boys.
No, it's not the Lost Boys, though.
It's not the Lost Boys.
No.
Right.
I still haven't seen that.
Oh, switch him off.
Wait for the world.
Just gonna. Proud Gen X right here. We all lost Gen X's. We need to just stick together, man, because otherwise our world is going to be overrun by people that have no souls. So all the souls in heaven ran out in 1984. Now there's none after that. It was like,
86. Give me 2 years.
No.
Oh, my young summer child.
1984, the celestial beings went, we've run out of souls. Gen X, you're rock stars. Right, moving on. Bandua have released some fancy pre-painted terrain. Sam, what can you tell us about it, man?
Yeah, so they released these new buildings with the intention of them being used in games like Age of Sigmar or Malifaux or War Machine, and they're kind of that faux Tudor style that we've come to expect from a lot of fantasy settings. And there's a range of a couple of different imperial style houses. You can see some of them have got some nice imperial iconography on the front of them. The first three we have, the 3 imperial houses. First one with the icon on the front, I could definitely see that being used as like a town chapel. Yeah. Then we have a 2-story house, followed by what appears to be some form of barn, along with the trough in front of it. So a few of these pieces, and you get the idea of a town that is alive and breathing. It's not just house, house, house. Of course, there are a few other little pieces of scatter terrain, the sort you need to bring a setting to life, such as the road sign, the wagon, and best of all, the gallows.
That's quite pretty nice.
Yeah, the gallows. A gallows is evocative no matter what setting you put it in. This one, given its mechanical trapdoor, I have no idea of the history of the gallows. I would have expected something like this more around Victorian Wild West era, but you can't deny that it's an evocative image just to have
they
that
had them in Robin Hood.
Town.
Yeah.
Prince of Thieves.
Yeah, good.
Which is
on
historically only the guy at the end, because
he was too short, wasn't he?
They'd run out of gallow, and it was just like put a barrel up and we'll just hang him on the end bit.
Go to the table shot. Go to the table shot.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
on this type of terrain, right? It comes down to 2 things. A, is it cheap, and is it quick to build?
Yeah.
Because it's fairly basic. In its design style. Mel, if you were handed it, right, and you were going to take it a couple of steps further,
Base and wash.
yeah,
Base it so you can tie it into your terrain table. So use similar colours, flocks, clump foliage, that sort of stuff. Same with your army, like you do with your army.
Yep.
Basing it frames it. It's like putting a picture in a frame. It takes it to the next stage. And then the detail's already there. The colours are already there. All you need is that dirt in the corners. You know what I mean?
It down.
Yeah, so a bit of a burnt umber, slap some water on, then go in and touch in, while it's still wet with your burnt umber paint.
Yeah.
Because while it's still wet, the acrylic will float on the water. So you can manipulate it and you don't get the stains. So you'd get stains on the white. So pre-wet it, go in with wash around the corner, do a couple of streak marks. I'd probably break up the watchel at the roof. I mean, it's printed by the looks of it, and it's nice. Yeah, you don't see that very often, and people struggle with roofs. Yeah, especially because the problem is if it's a flat surface, how do you get detail on it?
Yeah,
they've solved that problem for us. But what I'd probably go in is stipple with a little bit of mossy green.
Or you even get
medieval. You'd get
fine turf as well. You can actually do rows of fine turf as if you've got moss growing on between the tiles.
But that's all that would need. Base, wash, and just take up the roofs.
I'm fascinated by this this technique of wetting it first.
Pre-wetting.
Bob Ross used to do that. Bob Ross's technique was painting on a wet canvas.
Wet on wet.
Wet on wet. Yeah. So I just want to take you step by step through that, so as I understand, because I quite fancy a bit of wet on wet in my terrain.
Right, no worries.
I have my.
Shall we film it tomorrow?
Yeah.
Could do.
And we'll do a tutorial on it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Rather than me try and explain.
Right. Well, there you go.
There you are. Another video coming.
Be prepared for that.
So watch out, and we'll get Mel and Lloyd to do wet on wet.
Oh, calm down, son.
Mary is staring at me. Mary, I meant that in absolutely the purest terms. So it's like, okay, so we have the Bandura pre-painted fantasy terrain. So we're going to look out for that. Jerry.
Yes.
Undaunted Normandy coming out from Osprey.
Coming from Osprey Games.
What can you tell us about this?
It's not going to be out for a little while, but it's a deck building game based on the American 30th Division. So one side takes the Americans, one side takes the Germans, and the idea is you build a platoon and you're attempting to break out. So the 30th were in around Saint-Lô, and we're part of Operation Cobra, the big breakout post D-Day.
Yeah.
So everybody thinks D-Day steamrolled the Germans, and once they got off the beaches, they didn't. There was almost 2 month gap between getting off the beaches at D-Day and actually getting out of Normandy. So there were pockets of resistance that hemmed them in for up to 7 weeks. Yeah. So Operation Cobra was quite some time on. So they were still trying to push out of France and out of Bocage country. So this is a way of playing this on the tabletop, you and a friend using decks. So you construct your deck as you play. So it's kind of that hybrid between a Magic the Gathering where you buy blind cards and then you try and build the best you can, or having a pre-constructed deck. The cards are already in there and you're trying to equip and provide resources for your platoon as you're playing against the German. And I think
that's interesting. So it's kind of like resource management
style of game. Yeah,
that's an interesting take on it, and it's not something I'm racking my brains here to try and think if I've seen a game in the same setting.
Certainly not. No, it's not in the same setting. Anytime I've seen any sort of deck building thing like this, they've always been fantasy. I've never seen anything vaguely historical.
Yeah,
and it's just this idea that somebody went, well, you could actually do something really interesting with, can you get the 30th out? So can you help them? Can you reinforce them? Can you break them out of that pocket of resistance? And how would you go about that with limited resources that you have given to you?
I can't wait to see
so
this.
It's really interesting. And I think this is going to be the start of something, because this year is the 75th anniversary of D-Day.
It is, yes.
And I think we're going to see more sort of D-Day theme now. They've announced that this is coming, but it's not actually going to come out until August. So there's a bit of a run-up for this one. But I thought it was an interesting thing to bring up to show people, because obviously as we hit May-June time, I think an awful lot of companies are going to start showcasing D-Day things.
Yes.
And this one is one of the sort of the more unusual ones that caught my eye.
Yeah. A really interesting concept there.
The game itself is due out, I believe, from Osprey in August of this year, so it will be hitting around that time of the D-Day.
And Osprey are good for games. They've really ramped up recently.
Yeah. Right, next up, Justin, one for you, man.
Yes.
Fallout Wasteland Warfare, the role-playing game.
Yes, so we're actually getting to do a little bit of role-playing within the Fallout universe. Now, Fallout is a universe that I absolutely adore for the simple fact that anything post-apocalyptic, I'm kind of sold. And seeing the guys at Modiphius actually swing in for it is very cool.
Yeah. The focus of this is there's actually going to be 2 Fallout role-playing games. One of them is going to be using their 2D20 system that they've used for other games like Infinity, the role-playing game. But the other one is an expansion for Wasteland Warfare, so you really can take that narrative aspect of the miniatures game, which I know you really enjoy playing, Justin, and run with it. Really delve into that more.
Yeah, it's a cool universe, plain and simple, and seeing more stuff come out for it just makes me happy.
What attracts you to Fallout?
Honestly, it's the moral choices that you're given. Up to number 4, you're given clear moral choices. You know, do I blow up the town? Do I give the beggar some water to keep him alive? Do I be a good person, or do I just go pure evil and murder everybody?
Yeah,
and
but
there are consequences to it
but
within the game.
Yes.
Yeah, but that was, but the same thing was in GTA and you know, Red Dead and the like. So, so what is it within the Fallout universe that attracts you?
The aesthetic always attracted me.
Yeah,
that sort of post 1950s with the future tech bolted onto it. And then the idea that Vault-Tec itself, even though it appears to be a good organization, is actually committing horrible, terrible experiments on the Vault Dwellers.
Yeah.
You know, so there are different social experiments, physical experiments, cloning experiments, you know, things like that. It's always interesting. And then it's the exploration aspect of the world as well, because it's not just an on-the-rails storyline. There is a main storyline you can follow, but you can just wander off into the wasteland and find your own story, which is really cool. It's one of the things that makes me sad about the latest one, Fallout 76, because no NPCs, no real moral choices, and it just feels completely empty of any kind of soul.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, like, it's that, and it's really designed to be played by groups of like 4 people. So if you're going out there and you enjoy the solo experience, you will get swarmed by mobs and just get murdered a lot.
If you've got no mates, you're in trouble.
It's one of the things that I've often wondered. Like, obviously, how do I put this? This question is semi-rhetorical because I think everybody in the world knows the answer to this, right? But I still want to explore it. When you have a world like Fallout that is so already well fleshed out within the video game, in terms of the video game series and how you explore it, in reality, is a role-playing game actually necessary? You know, like what does it add? Now, the rhetorical aspect of this is we all know you can do things in a role-playing game well beyond the video game, but surely there comes a point where you think to yourself, you know, for example, if somebody released a Fable role-playing game,
I would be all over that.
I'd play that. Do you want to know what the difference is? Say I was going to run a game of the Fallout RPG. I can tell my story instead of having to listen to Bethesda's story.
Yeah.
So I can have my adventure. I can introduce my characters and have my group go through like different challenges. I mean, like, how many people do you think are out there that have thought up their own crazy experiments that the Vault-Tec would have been up to? How many people out there have their own like sort of scenarios and stuff that they would have loved to have seen played out that they couldn't in the game?
But online, you know, in Fallout, playing online, you could meet those people. But playing within your own RPG group, you start to rely on them.
Yeah.
And they won't have all those stories or all those things.
Yeah, but you as the GM.
But I wonder.
To write that.
I wonder if sometimes our view on these things is much grander than what the actual reality is. Whenever we come to buy it and actually play it.
Now, if 76 hadn't came out, I would have said this would have been a great thing, because one of the things I was dying for years was multiplayer Fallout. Now that I have it, I discovered I don't really want it.
And I wonder, and it's just a question: is this potentially a thing? You know, it's different for the likes of Infinity, right? Infinity is a tabletop game. You've never actually, other than the guys that created Infinity, who started out this way, you've never actually explored the universe in that RPG style setting. Okay, so I can understand an RPG style setting for Infinity.
Going from the tabletop game to here's the book, here's the universe, explore. Whereas in Fallout, you have
Fallout, because the whole thing was basically a giant RPG in the first place. It'd be like creating an RPG for Elder Scrolls.
Well, I suppose the best thing about a tabletop game is, as Justin was saying, you really do have the freedom to make your own stories, and you can then use the mechanics that this RPG goes to go, okay, so that's Fallout here. What if I did Fallout in England or something like that?
I do totally get it. But equally, somebody has to have the capability to do that.
But whoever's going to be your GM is most likely going to be the Fallout fan who's going to know all this and introduce their friends to it.
But our pool is quite small generally. So whenever you've played a Fallout story that's been professionally... It's like me going out now and trying to write an episode of Game of Thrones. Right? And anybody that's ever watched... is ever going to watch Game of Thrones, they're going to how can I give an experience in that?
Yeah, but you don't have to actually go through with any of the storylines that have already been used in Fallout. Like Sam said, say we did Fallout in England. So let's say you're in London, there was a vault there, and you're a group who has just came out to post-apocalyptic London in the Fallout universe. So you'll have different companies, different technologies, different things you can explore.
Box of LPs, a cricket bat.
But you can really theme it. I mean, like, there's actually a port being made at the minute that I am dying to play for Fallout 4, which is they're doing Fallout Miami as a fan-made piece. And I would love to explore that different location in Fallout.
Like I'm not. I suppose to some degree I'm playing a little bit of devil's advocate here, but I'm just trying to. And maybe you guys at home can help me out with this. It's just with these RPGs, they're beautiful collector's items. I can understand somebody wanting to collect them, okay, but I do wonder in terms of how playable they are, and for people that love that particular story. Are they just going to feel disappointed because it just maybe just won't live up to the experience that they've had in playing video?
And then if you look at it, it's not one Fallout RPG, it's two. Why do they need two in the same background?
I'm not sure about that. I think we can learn. We can find out about that though.
Well, that one I think is more so that they have one that is
good.
It is using the existing rules for Wasteland Warfare. It uses those particular dice, and it uses that card system. So it is tied very much to the miniatures. They have said this is expressly an expansion to that game. So it's there for people who want to maybe go a bit further with their tabletop game, with the Wasteland Warfare. Whereas having the other one as standalone means it's not reliant on people who want that system, who want to expand their Wasteland Warfare experience.
There's an easy way to put this. Do you prefer D&D 4th ed or 5th ed?
Yeah, but they don't sell them at the same time.
True.
Yeah.
That's why one's called 4 and one's called 5.
Yeah, but I think they're maybe trying to feed both audiences. So those who actually like to have a miniatures combat style thing on their RPG.
Trying to keep as many people happy as possible.
Yeah, possibly.
You know what I mean? Right, we know there's this crowd who's into this style, there's this crowd. We know that there's people who love our IP.
This is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, the board game's gone great. We want to expand on it. Where do we go? More miniatures? Role play's a lot easier to bring to market.
Yeah.
Because it's a book rather than a product line. The investment in sprues and tooling.
Yeah, and some people prefer pure pen and paper, and others prefer that
fishing exercise.
Maybe.
Perhaps we've got to throw it out, see which system rises to the top.
Yep.
And then say, right, okay, guys, well, we're going to follow the community and support the system that rises to the top.
Now, it might be a little cynical, but it could also be a case of they're maybe making it so that the IP stays with them and no one else gets the chance to make it.
No, I don't think it's that. No? They have that all locked up.
If they were already making one, then they don't need to make the second.
If we were 5-10 years down the line, possibly. Yeah. I think this is probably more along the lines of looking at the audiences that are there, because remember they have two distinct player bases.
Yeah.
So they have people who play their RPGs and will understand their RPG system.
Yep.
And then they have this new group of people that play this board game and will understand this board game system.
it's not just that. It's also taking computer gamers and turning them into tabletop gamers.
Which is always a good thing.
Yeah.
That's where I came from.
But what you call it? It's a weird process because we're not sure. I mean, it's only been so long that computer games have been cool and acceptable.
Yeah,
I mean, it used to be nerd activities if you play
yeah.
computer games. Now it's like it's what all the lads are doing when they're avoiding the girlfriend and the
It's
wife.
the standard.
You know what I mean? I mean, my brother's killing it on all sorts of games. You know, his missus never sees him. Yeah, but
Lucky girl.
very true. Yeah. But that idea of taking that player base, and you don't really understand that player base. I'm not saying you don't understand them, but you don't understand them in a tabletop context.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tabletop's a lot different. It's a lot more committal to effort. It's not switch on play.
Yeah.
It's prep. It's get ready.
Yeah.
So I can see them feeling it. What we've got this massive customer base. What do we sell them? What are they going to be interested in? Now we can sell them computer games because we know they're interested in that.
Yeah.
But it's the other elements: tabletop, RPG, full scale war game, skirmish game.
Yeah.
Getting a feel for it and see what rises to the top, and then concentrate on that and develop that.
I agree.
Yep.
Right. Kickstarters.
Yes.
We have a few to look at.
We do.
So kicking off, Sam, we have the Fantasy World Creator by GameStart Edizioni.
Yeah. Now, we actually showed these off in a previous weekend back when it was on Kickstarter the first time. This time they've returned to Kickstarter for an updated and reprinted edition. The aim is also, with the stretch goals, to insert new features in the application.
Oh.
So they have an online application that allows you to go on and build your adventures there. We hopefully will be able to show some of that off in a bit. But for those of you who haven't come across Fantasy World Creator before, this is basically everything you need to run a cool dungeon crawler adventure. It has all the tiles, monster cards, all the bits and pieces you need to lay out a dungeon, populate it, and get adventuring. We know Ben is a big fan of this stuff.
Yeah.
I believe he's been using it in some of his games in the past as well. So it's really cool to see it returning and give people that opportunity to get in on it again.
Well, we're lucky enough. We have actually a box of it in here. I remember whenever
different boxes.
Yeah, I remember when this came out the first time. I was absolutely blown away by it. So, which one is this then, Justin?
This is this one.
The treasure pack.
Okay, so this one.
Okay, so let's open that up and see what's in it.
I will say these are hefty because you get a lot of card in these.
Yeah.
Oh
the
yes.
The main Fantasy World Creator set has more than 500 pieces in it.
Well, this.
look at the
Well,
treasure
tell you
set.
what. This is an expansion of that.
Yeah.
We'll show you the big set in a second. So, in the expansion, what have you got there, Justin? You have weapons.
Actually, this is even more clever than just being weapons. So, Jerry, if you take that.
It's weapons that automatically kill you by themselves, so you don't have to wield them.
No. So this is actually a board with all of the different weapons and items on it, right?
Yeah.
But it also acts as a backpack dashboard that you can slot them back into.
Oh.
So that's pretty cool and
Oh,
clever.
that is quite neat.
So you could take things that you found on your adventure and drop them into those slots as a backpack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's smart.
So
That is smart,
it's just
isn't
such a
it?
nice little
That's a
detail.
replication of the computer game, isn't
Yeah.
it? Where
Yeah.
you get your character in your backpack slots. But on a simple sheet that you could throw into a plastic sleeve afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just save your game.
Oh, I like that.
You don't even need to write down, do you? Just throw
Yeah.
that bit.
Yeah. And that, I mean, like, they've actually designed these so these cards actually do have a rewritable surface on them.
Yes, you
So
can
could
write
on
over
them.
these.
Yes.
So let's say I've picked up an axe and it's got a +3 on it. I just write +3 on that.
Yeah.
And then I can quickly reference and go, okay, I've got that.
I have some of the larger monsters here, so you can see some of the artwork. I just love the black and white line drawing style of this. I think if you're going to have these kinds of things, this is the way to go. It's just lovely. Yeah. You know, it feels like the kind of handwritten notes that you would find in an explorer's notepad. You know,
And it doesn't detract from the game, because you may be playing D&D, Lamentations of the Flame Princess, Warhammer Fantasy Role, but you could be playing any one of a dozen generic fantasy, which has its own sort of background.
yeah.
And you don't need to worry about
Does
these
this
clashing.
thematically fit?
you just go, they're very specific.
What have you found,
I
Justin?
quite like this as well. So this is a character inventory dashboard. So you can write your character name on here.
Yep.
And then you've got more of your items around here that you can actually equip to the different body slots. You've got quick items down the bottom here. But if I flip this, the items are all different on the opposite side.
So it gives you a bit more expandability.
Well,
Exactly.
isn't that to match up with these? So
Yes.
So if you
How much
found,
do you get in this box?
oh, quite a lot. Those are the ones we've just looked at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the rear of them. So I'm assuming you could have these stacked. So you might go, oh, you found a sword, but until they flip it over,
Yeah.
they wouldn't know what weapon they found or
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
cloak
So
or
they
what
draw it,
armor
yeah.
or whatever it happens to be.
I mean, you could do with that with booby traps, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Literally, right, you've got to pick one of three. I'll pick that one.
I
Oh,
think,
damn.
I think they have booby traps in here.
Yeah.
Oh, they're nice.
Well, there they are. There's
Speak of the devil.
spike traps there.
Yeah.
Hidden passages.
Yep. And then you've got main big gates and
Yeah.
stuff. And I
Can
think
you
you've got a
hero
couple of
quest on this.
magical gates on here as well.
It would be lovely. And then you have actual floor tiles
Yeah,
themselves.
map tiles.
So let's get a quick look at some of these. So the tiles are made of an even thicker card. Really, really nice. Let me get a couple of these.
They're nice
out
die
to
cuts
see.
as well, aren't
they?
They haven't even left the tags, are they? They just
No.
drop straight out.
Just straight out, bang. And then,
Quite like this because the dual side on this, so you've got a nice snowy mountain
Yeah, yeah.
top, and on the other side, if you flip it, you've got jungle.
Ah, flip those. Jungle.
Jungle.
As well, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then
Yeah.
you've got, so your bigger areas and your small areas.
So
And then there is
we
different.
could go hunting for Yetis, boys.
There's a lot of functionality in this,
There's
isn't there?
beaches.
And,
Yeah.
and this is just the expansion.
Yeah.
That is the
Yeah,
treasure
that's-
pack, which is the included in the first pledge level on the Kickstarter.
Right, Jerry, can you lift up your big box then?
I will
we
lift
see?
up my big box.
So that's an expansion.
If I give you that.
I'll grab these and just move them off.
And then this, right? So if you hold that up to the camera, oh,
the new
look at that! Right, so it's monstrous. It is
Yeah.
huge.
It is.
Let's see what's
As the
in it.
man says, monstrous. Discuss.
Oh, feel the weight of that. Listen.
You could beat someone to
No.
death.
Oh, yes.
Never mind the size.
Somewhere Ben right now is weeping that he missed out on this weekend.
Oh,
Yeah.
goodness.
That'll teach
me.
him to be
It's
off
just
hill
enormous.
Ah.
Dry
Yeah,
white pens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Loads of little
I want
cards.
to try these to see how good they are. Can I get a board, please?
those.
Can
Yeah,
you get a
so
board?
let's get some boards out, right?
Yeah, you've got rooftops.
So we've got rooftops in this one. It's just extraordinary the
for when
flexibility.
you're thieving your way through.
They carry
old
on doing
London
training
town.
like this, I'm going to be out of a job.
It's,
If I grab one of these,
yeah.
and let's say I was to say there's treasure,
Just right here be
Right there.
dragons.
X marks the spot.
yeah, and then away it goes.
Okay, I
You're-
get to
you're
draw
messy.
something now. So
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
a
no,
rubber
no,
on the
no,
back.
don't give
you
him
could
Oh yeah, I
use.
forgot that.
so here we go. Okay.
Oh no, what's he gonna draw?
So
Yeah, we're a family show, Warren, remember?
No, it's a little stick man.
there we go.
Stick
So
man.
yeah. So
And that's how you know the magic happens.
That's me.
Yeah.
Okay. You'll know it's me because he's got hair.
Yeah.
Okay. And then he's got 2 eyes and a smile,
Yeah.
but he's sad at the moment. So let me make him happy. Okay. So let me get a Justin in there as well. And
This has turned
you
into
know
Bob
it's
Ross.
Justin because he's got a wee beard
Yeah, yeah.
and tiny wee beady eyes because there's not much going on behind them. And there he is. There's Justin and Warren.
Thanks for that, Warren.
You're welcome, man. Actually, that's not quite correct, is it?
It's too small. I was waiting to see if you'd recognize
Sorry,
that one.
Mary. It's like-
All right, now I'm
If
gonna.
that's accurate, that's a disability, mate. One advantage.
oh, and of course, he's straight
yeah,
on the
yeah.
eraser. Oh, he's straight on there.
I
Go.
wanted to see if it would work.
Yeah, sure you were, man. These are your new type of clipper, are they?
No, I'd be a lot more precise if it was the Clippers. But yeah, you've got lots of cards in this pack as well.
Yes.
Ponds, boats.
Oh, you get them that way.
That's it.
Oh, you've got boats and stuff.
Yeah, we've
That's
got boats here, ponds here.
Nice.
So these are the kind of characters and stuff that you meet. Okay. So let me get. So there's lots and lots of monsters and ghoulies in here.
Yeah.
Just look at that.
Can I cut in for a second?
Yes,
I'll
you
show you
absolutely.
this.
Yeah, fine.
Check
Bring
this
your
one.
boat.
Yeah. Okay, you got the boat.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and it's in 2 halves.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
bring it further up.
And it's in 2 halves because if you want to,
You can make a bigger boat.
you can add the masts and make it a longer boat.
Stick it in. Stick
Yeah.
it in. We need a bigger boat.
need a bigger boat.
Oh,
yeah.
we
We have
got
a
a bigger boat.
Yeah. So how smart is that? The functionality on this is great.
Yeah, yeah. I am totally digging this.
Oh, I just
Actually,
want,
what's on the
I just
other
want to
side?
go and play RPGs. now,
Roofs.
yeah, so, yes. Lots of rooftops and stuff like that. So, There is also an app. Okay, so if we can have a quick look at the app, Justin.
Yeah, so I'll go to the app here. All right, so I assume we would want to go new map.
Yeah.
We'll click on this new map. And I assume I can start grabbing different tiles and stuff and linking them in. So if I drop that there,
Yep.
and let's say I want it tiles.
People are going to lose days on this.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay.
I have a lovely isometric dungeon mapping system that I got from a Kickstarter, and I just lose so much time to it. It's
Does it snap? It snaps.
It snaps on.
very
That's
nice.
pretty nice. And then I can start exploring my world. If I drop this like that, yeah, it will snap.
Your
But what if I
world's
do that?
terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep
It's a
going,
terrible
Justin.
world,
Keep going.
Justin.
There you
They
go.
are.
That's it.
It's full of desolate wastelands.
And then you get your
and
monsters
chimeras.
and a
and
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
I mean, this
It's
is
weird how many things keep
coming.
coming around.
It totally is,
Yeah.
though, isn't it?
Because I imagine you're going to be able to print that off afterwards,
Well,
aren't you?
well, that's the
Yeah.
monster deck that you would. I assume you would shuffle upside down so your characters can't see what's coming, and then you deal out. And you go, oh no, it's a whatever that happens to be, and then you go and find the
Check
monster
out.
standee and stick the
The art is just beautiful.
They've gone to town on
yeah.
that.
Yeah. I think anybody who backed
Oh,
this
can you
on the
imagine?
Kickstarter
Can you
has
imagine
done really
pulling
well.
that and find out you're up against a T-Rex?
You're up against the Tyrannosaurus. Oh, Justin! There's yours, man. Look, Justin.
Huh?
There you go.
Spiders.
That's for you,
You know how
dude.
to deal with a Tyrannosaurus, though. You just challenge it to a boxing match because it's got really short arms.
He don't
Tell
have
its
the reach,
shoelaces
man. He just
untied
doesn't
and watch
have
him
the
panic.
reach.
Have a reach.
Yeah.
You'll be fine,
We've
you'll
all
be
seen
fine.
that cartoon.
Yeah.
We've got little hands.
Right, Justin, you can play with this later, man.
Aw.
So the
we are filming a show.
The Kickstarter has how long left to go?
It's just launched actually this past week, so it
So
still
currently not launched at
should
time of
have. Sorry, I'm doing some mental arithmetic now because I forgot.
Yeah, so it's
to put
about
the-
20 something days to go.
Yeah,
guys.
about,
yeah.
about 20 days to go.
Okay, next up we have Paolo Mori's Blitzkrieg.
Yes.
Who wants
this
to
is
kick us off on this one?
I think we have a copy here.
This has been some episode for unpacking, hasn't it?
It's been great. I seen this come up on the news on the site a couple of days ago, and it was in here when I was filming unboxings the other day. I was like, oh, it's coming out on Kickstarter, but you've already got one. And they've got a prototype copy in here. I was like, I need to see this. And this is how you fight the entire of World War II in 20 minutes.
Oh,
That's an impressive claim.
that is an impressive claim.
So it's a resource management. The way the guy who wrote it describes it, it's a minimalist board game.
Yeah.
So what it is you versus, you may or may not be able to see that.
Okay.
You versus your opponent in all the fronts. So Southeast Asia, Western Europe, Eastern Europe, and it's like a tug of war.
Uh-huh.
So, my assistant's here. Handy.
Yes.
So let's say we're fighting in Western Europe. You start with your piece in the middle, and then you play items from behind your screen. You've both got little screens that you set up.
Yes.
And when you pull stuff from the bag, it could be air, land, or sea. So land is brown, sea is blue. Air can go anywhere. And if it's half and half, you can put whatever you want on it. So you would play a tile, you'd play an army onto the brown. This will give you some sort of resource for your technology, and the little token moves towards you. Each of these is like a campaign. If you reach to the end, you get all the points from the campaign, and up here you've actually got your tracker. So the idea is to try and win in various zones. Now, your opponent could be over here with his token when you close out a campaign, at which point he gets the points. You've put all the resources you can in to
but he's won
Western
it.
Europe, but that's not been enough. So he's actually, even though you've ended that campaign, he's won that area.
So are the campaigns played simultaneously?
Yeah.
So do you have to choose
You
where
have
I'm
to-
going to spend
so-
my resources?
so
am I going to go
you-
into Africa
you've-
with this army, or am I going to go
You've
to Western
literally only
Europe?
got, that would be the Allies, and then the Axis is something similar. So you've got your Air Force, your Navy, an Admiral and a General, and then things like that. And you've also got these, which are technology. And these are kept upside down in a pile. So whenever you've got an area and you've got the little technology symbol, you get to draw one of the random things from the pile and put it in your bag, and you're always blind drawing. So whenever you play a military force somewhere, you get to draw another one from the bag, but you also do whatever the tile that you've just covered says. So you might get to draw 2, or you might get to draw a bit of technology, which includes things like nukes.
Oh.
And now your nuke will push you 6 tracks along
Right.
in your area, but will knock you 2 back in every other area because people go, you did what? You did what to a country? You dropped a nuke on a country? Oh, I'm sure you're doing very well in Southeast Asia now, but all of a sudden the friends back home aren't quite as keen. So it's this concept that you can play a very strategic game in a very short amount of time. And it was just this idea that, because he actually has a little design notebook at the back of the rules going, I've always thought, how could you condense, would it be possible to play something as overarching as the Second World War in a very minimalist way, in a very quick time frame? And this is what he came up with. And I think it seems, I haven't had a chance to play yet, because you can see everything still on the little sheets there.
The pack,
But I really want to get a game in.
Can we get a let's play of this, guys? I really want to see this played out.
This looks like some of a pub game.
We have to reach out to Paolo to get an interview, man, because that is it's ingenious.
Yeah.
Do you know what it reminds me of a little bit? It reminds me of a cross between Risk and Twilight Struggle.
Yeah.
You know, I love this.
Don't know Twilight Struggle.
Right, so Twilight Struggle is probably one of the best board games ever made.
Right, okay.
You need a big table to play it on.
Yes, you need quite a big table. Oh no, it's not Twilight Struggle.
Twilight Imperium.
Twilight Imperium.
Which is the one that is? No, I think it is Twilight Struggle.
Thinking of something.
It's the Cold War, the one that's set in the Cold War.
Yes.
Cold War is Twilight Struggle.
Yes. I am correct.
Okay.
I'm doubting myself these days because I think I'm doting. So Twilight Struggle is set during the Cold War.
Right.
So you are the US, the two superpowers.
Yeah.
And it's an incredible game. So it's card driven in many respects, because so you draw all these events.
That's the one you're on about.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Okay.
So you draw on these events, and they're describing what is happening during the Cold War, and then you play against these events, and you try to capitalize on them and stuff. And if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure Twilight Struggle has that tug of war kind of aspect going on in the point scoring. And up at the top, it has you moving through the phases of the Cold War, so like early Cold War, and then you get to like mid Cold War, and you change the deck because the events start to change. Yeah. Then you get to the more later part where you've got the space race and stuff like that all happening. So it kind of leads you through the events, and you learn loads about the geopolitics. So I learned loads about the geopolitics when I played it. So this strikes me as it's a very long game to play though. Yeah. But this strikes me as somewhere between that and Risk. Yeah. And I think it's ingenious. I love it when a designer really puts the constraints on and says, look, within these very specific constraints, what can I do to allow the exploration of this? I think it's ingenious.
I think he even says that there was something in the game that he wanted kept in, and he's doing it in conjunction with Plastic Soldier Company. So it's another one of their board games, and they were going, oh, but you can win if you do this, and we think that's a bit of a it kind of falls flat type of thing. He's going, no, but after you've put all the time and resources in, for somebody to win simply by essentially economically outpowering your opponent, it makes perfectly the whole war
it's entirely viable.
It's entirely, and if you take that away, then it may be a bit more whiz bang at the end, but it's a perfectly viable way to win. And I want to keep, and so he essentially fought to keep that little tiny little bit in, which is just probably one line of you can win by doing this. But anyway, it's sort of integral to the way the whole feel of the game is. So you can win by military might, or you can win theoretically by just getting the points up there and just economically outmaneuvering your opponent.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of like the 4X games you get for gaming. You've got ones where it is military, economy, technology, and things like that, which is quite interesting.
Pull up the Kickstarter there till we have a quick look at it and see.
There you go, sir.
So it's it's funded. It's got about
11 days.
About 11 days to go at this stage.
Yeah. One of the things I really wanted to point out on this is that there is a social media stretch goal for an expansion, Blitzkrieg Nippon, which adds special rules and second boards, new weapons, and a new army.
Well,
there you go. Yeah. But definitely one worth exploring. And if we can get a let's play of that, guys, I would love to see that. I would love to see it. Okay, Finally, we have what is this? The TFTB
Things from the basement.
Things from the basement.
This is Jorg.
Mediterranean village. So what's he got?
Oh,
Mama!
I'm going to need 5 minutes, dude.
I thought you'd like this.
You and me both, man. Oh wow! Now we've been covering a little bit of modern wargaming and stuff on the show, and it's starting to build up around on tabletop at the moment. This stuff just looks like it's perfect for that.
Yeah, I know Gianna was very keen whenever I pointed this out. It was like, oh, that'd be great for an insurgency or cartel, and then sending the special forces in there. But it's you can see what he's done with a very basic sort of laser cut pattern, and then just render over the top to get the extra detail.
I mean, the step between that and the picture above.
Yeah, it's not massive. It's not that people.
It's not
can't
hard,
do that, but it just takes it up a notch. So it gives you a really nice basis for material.
Now, does this right? Okay, so what are you getting in this? Do you get the finished one, or this?
It'll be that. So it's the basic, essentially laser cut designs.
Yeah.
But all you need then is to whip out either some textured paint, a bit of sand,
bit of filler.
or
we
bit of
have
filler.
the man here.
Yeah.
So now I know you know a thing or two about filler.
Oh, I can fill it.
Because I have been watching your filler episodes many times. It's one of my go-to episodes. So.
Mate, filler is it's like my watchlet, my gold dust. I can do anything with filler given time. Yeah.
So what would this one be? Sprackle, Mod Podge, or a PVA?
It'd be a filler wash.
You do a filler wash.
I'd water the filler down, then plaster it on as a wash.
Yeah.
Because as the water evaporates, where it leaves a really grainy, flat texture, and it's the perfect texture. The other thing that it's good at is if you do a filler wash, you know all your gaps in your laser cut?
Yes.
It runs in and fills them.
It fills them.
Yeah, so you don't get that weird sort of gappiness sometimes that you get with kits.
Where you can see the joins.
So all those join lines, they just disappear. Yeah, on top of that, filler's been scientifically designed to take paint. So it seals the actual MDF because the water draws the filler coating into the MDF. It seals it, so you can whack acrylic straight onto it.
Without worrying
so you don't
about
need
it being
to
sucked
spray
in.
paint or prime it.
One of the things that myself and Lloyd used to do was used to add a little bit of paint to the filler.
Make it
just
glue.
to give it a little bit of a pigment.
You can certainly do that.
So in the likes of this, what I'd maybe be tempted to do, no, I'd add a little bit of brown to give you your base coat.
And then dry brush over,
and then bring it up from that.
I mean, they're Mediterranean, aren't they? So you want an ochre colour, don't you?
Yeah.
Because ochre, the pigment of ochre and the pigment of sienna is Italian dirt.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, it's the colour. Whenever anyone says, well, how do you do Italian ground? Ochre. Why? Because it's made out of Italian ground. It's made from the Mediterranean. So those colours would be perfect for that. But that's nice.
It's such a versatile set of buildings as well, because you can have your Mexican War. Because let's face it,
of course.
That would work.
Spanish style.
That would work for Italy and Spain, which means it takes care of World War II.
Yeah,
you've got your fight through Italy. You can do your Napoleonics through Spain using it.
Yes.
Was there any push into Africa with the Spaniards? Is there much architect?
No, I think it came the other way. You got the Moors going in and influencing the bottom, but I don't think they pushed back.
Well, you can definitely do your Granada.
And you can do, you can do
Blood and Plunder,
and then so you can push across to the other side, to the Americas, and they all use this same style of building because that's what they were used to building.
Yeah.
And
Little shrine.
So what, could you do something like the Alamo, maybe?
Or a barbecue, Justin. It's like.
I just think it's such a versatile set of buildings.
Yes.
And will cover so many different genres. It's
I love that set. That is really, really awesome. Right. Last week we gave away 2 copies of Dave Taylor's Kickstarter book, called The Armies and Hordes.
Armies and Legions and Hordes. Oh my.
Yeah. Armies, Legions, and Hordes.
No, Armies and Legions and Hordes.
Armies and Legions and Hordes.
There you go.
And that bloke's editing my book.
We have 2 copies of it to give away. If you want to know if you're a winner, come across to OnTableTop.com. In the menu, you'll see claim a prize. Go in there, and then all our prize winners are listed in there, and you can contact us, and we will get it shipped out to you. Mel, next week we've got you back.
You certainly have.
Because
double dosing of Mel.
Because we can't get enough of our Mel. Mel has something big to talk about next week.
It's huge and heavy.
So be sure to come back next week as Mel unveils
Reveals it.
an enormous project.
It's a hell of a whopper, guys. I mean, I'm going to be going at it for months with this thing.
Yeah, dude, it just means you're going to have to expose yourself on the internet.
Yeah, do you know what? I've done it once before, and look where it got me.
This is it, guys. So, look, thank you very much for joining in. Tomorrow, for our backstagers, Mel is still with us. We have a couple of interesting topics. We're going to be talking a little bit about opening up.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Come across, join backstage. See you then. Take care, guys. Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now, and be sure to check out beastsofwar.com for the latest gaming news and gaming let's plays. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.